Alright, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Waves Weekly, series I post every Saturday where we cover recent news and current events that I believe will impact the markets. So as always, we'll go over each topic that we're going to be discussing, then we'll dive into each one individually. In front of us, Trading View, where we will be looking at a few charts today, pretty much just Apple and Tesla because we have some news to go along with it. So let's check that out. Again, I'm sure a lot of you have heard this news already, but Apple becomes the first US company to reach a $2 trillion market cap. Big news. We'll just cover the highlights in a quick paragraph here, but big news for Apple. Since then, since this was released on Wednesday, the stock has already gained an extra like 1.2 or $120 billion in market cap, 1.2 or 0.12 trillion, I should say. I mean, absolutely insane. This thing is crazy. So we'll take a look at this article, take a quick look at the charts, let you guys know what I'm thinking here. We will then go on to talk about Tesla's stock split. So obviously this is big news as well. Apple announced that stock split, did well for the stock. Tesla just followed suit, and Tesla's killing it as well. So again, we'll look at the charts for Tesla and Apple. We will then move on to this article talking about Robinhood raising about $200 million in their recent rounds. So we'll go over this quick Morning Brew article. Love these guys. So we will go over this. We will then go on to talk about the next round of stimulus. So while there's still hope for a second $1,200 stimulus check, I mean, everyone knows that that is good for not only us, but for the markets as well. That's extra capital flowing into the markets, which has led to this crazy rally we've seen over the past few months. So we'll cover this. We will then go into this this straight up supplemental article that talks about who's paying for those stimulus checks. All right, and I'm sure you guys already know the answer to that. So we'll cover this quickly. We will then move on to the content of the week. Fellow YouTuber Anthony Pompliano with Lunch Money. If you guys haven't seen this great series, I'll talk about it a little more once we get to it. And as always, before we do get into it, I will ask you guys to please give the video a like if you do go on to gain value from it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Check out my complete portfolio and daily newsletter if you're interested in that. Complete breakdown of my portfolio and a newsletter to your inbox every trading day during market hours. And again, I did just add the feature for a 7-day free trial. And stick around if you like it. If not, no worries, you can opt out. If you do choose to stick around, it's $20 a month, the usual. Okay, so appreciate it if you do. If not, no worries. But let's get into it. Again, Apple closing out this week, this past trading week, just under $500. That's so huge. That's so huge for Apple. Again, up on Friday alone, up 5%. 5% in a single day is insane for a stock with a $2.2 trillion almost market cap. I'm sorry. Let's take a look at it. So I'm stop stumbling over my numbers here. Okay, so $2.127 trillion. That's insane. Okay, so that's just the 127 billion that it added is the size of a very large public company. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Just what they added since Wednesday is the size of a very large S&P 500 sized company. All right. So Apple on an absolute tear from a technical perspective. You can see here just in February when it was at all-time highs, it was at $320. It's now at almost $500. So I mean, it's just crazy what the market's doing right now. Again, we will cover this in for the same reason that we're all getting $1,200 checks is the same reason that you're seeing stocks like Apple and Tesla just go to the moon right now. Okay, so we'll cover this. Apple becomes first U.S. company again to reach $2 trillion market cap. Apple hit a market cap of $2 trillion, doubling in valuation in just over 2 years. It's the first publicly traded U.S. company to reach $2 trillion market cap. Apple was also the first publicly traded U.S. company to reach a $1 trillion market cap. Okay, so Apple really just, I mean, they're the king. Apple, the king of the U.S. equity markets. I mean, for good reason. I love Apple. Recording on an Apple Mac right now. I mean, everything I use is Apple. So huge fan of the stock. I personally wouldn't buy it right now. I just think it's super inflated. But again, it keeps going up. So I just continue to be proven wrong. Same with Tesla. Like I mean, I thought Tesla was way too high at $1,000, to be completely honest, as far as like the PE ratio and actual financials are concerned. But that doesn't matter in this market because money is being printed and money is being put to work within the markets. Okay, so Apple hit a market cap of $2 trillion Wednesday, doubling valuation in just over 2 years to become the first publicly traded U.S. company to reach the milestone. So again, huge news for Apple. It did lead on top of the stock split that they're doing to just to a crazy rally. I mean, since the beginning of this month when it gapped up on August 1st, I mean, it kicked off this month at like $383. So since then, it's already added over $100 to its stock price, to its share price, or 25% since the beginning of the month. So, I mean, absolutely insane. And again, the stock split helped out with that, which is what we'll talk about right now. So Tesla shares surged 49% since announcing stock split. Again, it's a great idea. Who's saying announcing a stock split doesn't increase the company's value? In the 10 days since Tesla told investors it will institute a stock split, the company's shares have surged 49%, which is, again, crazy for Tesla. already being such like the market cap of Tesla. I like it's crazy just watching Tesla grow even since the lows in March. I mean, what's Tesla's market cap right now? Let's not play the guessing game. Let's look at the chart because we're gonna look at it anyways. Okay, so Tesla is currently trading above $2,000 at a $380 billion market cap. So that's absolutely insane. Does it have the EPS right here? Where's the EPS? We're not going to look at that right now. Anyway, EPS is way out, or like PE ratio is crazy right now. So, I mean, it will be interesting to see what happens in Tesla's next earnings. They've been doing such a good job at releasing consistently good news. And yeah, they've just announced like battery packs, new battery packs. Well, maybe I'll talk about the EV sector. I think I will because a few of you have requested it. Cover the EV sector in a stock talk sometime next week. So let me know down below if you guys do want to see that or not. But again, Tesla, love the company. Think this is like the epitome of a bubble. And I mean, as far as I've been wanting to short this the whole way up. One of the big reasons that I covered in yesterday's video that Tesla has been doing so good along with the rest of the market is because there's so much money that has been trying to short Tesla that they just keep getting squeezed out by all this retail interest and all this newfound capital flowing into the markets, that the shorts keep getting squeezed out. And when large short positions get squeezed out, it sends the stock flying up, therefore creating the impression that there's a lot of buy volume. It's just people getting squeezed out, but that buy volume, that green bar, that green candle, gets people attracted and makes people want to buy even more. Okay, so Tesla, I mean, just seeing this, it only makes sense to see somewhat of a pullback. I mean, there's no way we're gonna go back to even previous highs back in February around like, I mean, even $900 was crazy at the time, I thought. Okay, so I mean, it would make sense to me just for it to use these uptrends, these three uptrends, as an area of support if it was to correct. So first target would be around $1,700 if it pulls back. Second would be $1,500, and then third, which at this point it definitely can't go lower than this, would be around like $1,200. Okay, so again, maybe I'll cover that in a little more detail in the stock talk next week. But that said, the stock splits are doing so much damage, you guys, and I want you guys to understand that stock split, like I was talking about this yesterday, I'm going to repeat it. There's like TikTok videos of kids talking, like these Robinhood day traders, like the epitome of like what the Robinhood davey day trader retail Joe is. There's these kids on TikTok. It's a huge craze. It's crazy. It's wild, like wild times we live in across the board. But he was saying, like, my friends, this is the chance for generational wealth. Like, this is how you make generational wealth. If you buy a Tesla or Apple stock right now, it's free money. If you hold one stock right now, you get 5 stocks next week when they do the stock split. Like, that is so dumb, but people believe it because these kids don't understand the market. You hear, oh, I bought 1 share, I have 5 shares next week. They think that you're just getting, you're 5xing your money like that, but that's obviously not the case. That doesn't make any sense. Kids don't know that though. But I mean, you can't blame them. They're like, so many people are just new to this. They're just learning about this, but that's how the markets are reacting. That's why the shares of these companies are doing so well. And on top of that, people who are smart and know what they're doing understand that news will have a positive impact on the stock price. Therefore, it will shoot it up. So it's just so many positive catalysts, but truly just hype, like truly just hype, at least in regard to a stock split, because a stock split has zero to do with actual value of the shares you own. It's just, it makes it seem like you have more shares than you do, which you do. They're just worth the exact same amount as your single. 5 is worth the same amount as 1 if it's split into, if your 1 is just split into 5 pieces. If you have 1 pie, you cut it into 5 pieces, you still have the exact same amount of pie. You don't multiply your pies. Okay, so that's that. It's just crazy. Then that kind of boils down into why Robinhood is, nice segues in this one. Why Robinhood is raising additional funds. I mean, Robinhood is a great company. Let's move down here. So again, Morning Brew, I love this newsletter. You guys go check it out if you haven't yet. I'll call this some content of the week. Very good graphics, very good. I love this guy's stuff. They actually encourage me to like write a newsletter in a sense. So just read this and I'll riff on it a little bit. So the stock trading startup Robinhood announced a $200 million Series G round yesterday, continuing its march through the fundraising alphabet. Robinhood's updated 2020 funding report. So May 280 mil, July 320 mil, and yesterday 200 mil. Know your brokerage. Robinhood rose to prominence by offering users a hassle-free sign-up process, sleek design, and zero-fee trading. Its latest round of funding values it at $11.2 billion, up almost $3 billion from May and nearly 9x its 2017 valuation. So I might try to figure out how to, even after these crazy funding rounds, I would still invest in Robinhood at this valuation. I think $11.2 billion for the leading brokerage account And again, I use Robinhood. Robinhood is my primary brokerage account. That's what I trade all my options on. And I mean, I love it. I've been since I think 2016 is when I made my Robinhood account. And like the reason is obvious. They were the first to do commission-free trading. They're revolutionary. They revolutionized the trading landscape. And they deserve a crazy valuation. They deserve all the success that they've found because they've normalized something that was before like set for a specific group of people who were like educated in this sense, and I'm talking trading and investing. But Robinhood has made it easy and appealing for millennials, for younger individuals to be interested in trading because they've gamified it. Okay. So what's behind the growth? Robinhood is adding users faster than people who live alone in NYC at houseplants. Nice. The company said it surpassed 13 million users in May, 3 million of which had jumped aboard since the start of 2020, and is making money off trades at a faster rate than its competitors too. In June, Robinhood traders carried out 4.3 million daily average revenue trades, a key metric used by brokers that topped TD and Interactive Brokers and exceeded the combined total of E-Trade and Charles Schwab. So again, Robinhood, in terms of just on your phone app investing, casual investing, is by far in the lead, and it deserves it. I've used all the other apps as well. I choose only to use Robinhood because it's by far the best, user-friendly, most aesthetically pleasing platform. Again, I'll cover. I stumbled upon a good CNBC article talking about the dangers of the Robinhood trading landscape right now. I might cover that tomorrow. We'll see if it works into the Stock Watch video, but. Again, you guys, just understand this is great. I've always been a fan of people, and I imagine a lot of you who've gotten into Robinhood, and I appreciate all of you who've used the the referral link that I have in the description to date. Both get a free stock. Check it out if you haven't used Robinhood yet. But I imagine a lot of you have. It's a great platform, and I would, again, even at $11.2 billion valuation, you look at some of the valuations on these other companies, I think it's worth at least twice that in this market. Okay, so Robinhood, huge fan, good for them, pumped for them. So let's move on here to stimulus. Why there's still hope for second $1,200 stimulus checks despite stalled congressional talks. And any of you guys, stimulus checks is just to sum up why we're talking about it and how it does relate to the markets. $1,200 in retail Joe's pocket means money into probably Tesla and Apple, to be real, but just more money into the markets. You guys know, more money into Bitcoin, more money into some of the plays that we talk about here on the channel, and it's just good. Do I agree with just all the printed money? No, I don't think it's healthy, but that's the reality, and you have to adapt. Okay, so when it comes to a second round of $1,200 stimulus checks, there's good news and bad news. The good news, both political parties have said they want to send Americans more direct payments. The bad news, Congress needs to agree on the next coronavirus stimulus package in order for that money to come through. So, we've been covering this for the past few weeks now. These guys just keep butting heads, obviously left and right. They're as polarized as it gets, especially in 2020. So, at least they do both agree on this this second round of $1,200 stimulus checks. That's good. So that means it's very likely, almost guaranteed, that we all will see a $1,200 stimulus check at some point within the next couple months. And again, I remember bringing up Coinbase. If you guys are familiar with Coinbase, America's leading crypto exchange, Brian Armstrong, who's the CEO founder of Coinbase, tweeted when that first round of $1,200 stimulus checks came in, the amount of Bitcoin purchases that were exactly $1,200. So, and it will continue to trend this way, especially as more unemployment stays stagnant, and people just don't have jobs, but people are innately, although they may seem lazy, are innately not lazy and want to do something productive, especially with their money. And that's what they see. That's what the market is serving, is a way to have your money and actively try to make money when you don't have a job. So that's another reason, kind of psychologically, why I believe the markets are doing well. And it makes sense to me. Okay, so nothing else highlighted in there. Let's move on to here's who's paying the nearly $300 billion for your stimulus checks. All right, so I'm just going to read two little paragraphs in here, okay? So the payments process involves an interesting way to borrow and figuratively print money, according to Sahil Bloom, a financial educator and vice president at Altamont Capital Partners. Bloom said the government can create money without actually printing physical currency. We live in a digital age, so really money is just numbers on a screen, he said. And this is the danger of what's going on right now, you guys. Money, you guys see the debt. If you guys have ever seen that, the debt thing, just look up international debt on Google, and there's a page with all, it's a live calculator of all the international debt, trillions of dollars of debt. We just keep printing debt. Honestly, at this point, just doesn't even matter. We'll just default it, because we're never going to pay it, especially just printing money. Like the value of the dollar, that's why I preach Bitcoin all the time, you guys. Like safe haven assets, like sound money property assets like Bitcoin, like gold, Bitcoin specifically, because we live in a digital age. And especially now when everyone's at home, everything's getting significantly more digital at a way faster pace than it would have without this pandemic, without this lockdown and whatnot. So digital is just trending at the fastest rate it probably ever has in history, and it will continue that way. And Bitcoin is just a digital version of gold. Okay. So, I mean, huge on Bitcoin. Unfortunately, Bitcoin isn't doing too hot right now. Let's take a look at it. On top here, Bitcoin, I'm recording this on Friday. Bitcoin is currently at 11.4K. It had a rough day today. Just this morning, it was at 11.8, I believe. But, I mean, still, that doesn't... The volatility, you guys, I always say this, but the volatility means absolutely nothing to me just because the fundamentals are so strong for Bitcoin. Again, a sound money asset. There's an absolutely scarce asset. Like, again, gold versus Bitcoin. Gold is it's scarce, but there's no proven scarcity. Bitcoin, there's 18 million in existence right now. There will only ever be 21 million as long as humans and computers are around. So Bitcoin is proven scarce. It's digital. It's easy to send, easy to receive, and it just makes so much more sense. Okay, so Bitcoin, I'm still extremely bullish on Bitcoin long term, as well as all the stocks associated that we like so much here on the channel. So still bullish on that. Let's get to the content of the week. So lunch money, Anthony Pompliano. Speaking of Bitcoin, all the segues are just smooth in this one. Okay, so I mean, this is one of the most prominent figures within the Bitcoin space. He's actually one of the few individuals who inspired me personally to start making investing content because he's just super relatable and he's easy to listen to. He's a dude's dude, and his girl, his now wife, Paulina, so congratulations, they got married like a couple weeks back now. Great people. They've been doing this Lunch Money series where they just cover news every single morning. Since the beginning of quarantine, they've gone super, like, they've been so consistent, so impressively consistent, and I always strive to be consistent as well. So I respect that as a creator myself, and they're super good. Again, they're super easy to listen to, especially like because I have a lady friend as well, and it's a lot of times it's hard. She's an artist. She does that stuff, and it's hard sometimes to get her interested, although I want to educate her at the same time to get her interested in some of the, like, become more financially literate and just more aware of the macroeconomics and what's going on in the world. They make it super easy, super digestible. So big shout out to Anthony Pompliano and Paulina Ivailova Marinova Pompliano. They call her Pimp just because that's her name. So, I mean, shout out to them if you guys happen to be watching this. But, I mean, check these guys out. Again, every morning they just have, like, super consistent, like clockwork every morning. Video breaking down all the things that you should be interested in as an investor in the markets and trader, whatever you classify yourself as. Okay, so check them out. Again, just type in Lunch Money, Anthony Pompliano. You can find them. All right, so shout out to them. Once again, you guys, before we close it out, just check this out. Just try it if you want. If you're not trying it out at this point, just give it a shot. Give it a shot. If you want to leave, feel free to leave. And I know you can probably, I think Teachable has something in place. But if you want to try to cheat this system and just create a new email every 7 days, please don't. All right, just pay for the freaking thing. All right, but I mean, actually, I don't think you can do that. That just popped into my mind. But I mean, if you can do it, whatever. I don't really care that much. But I would appreciate it if you just paid, because I do work really hard on this and I do take a lot of pride in it. Okay, so check this out once again. Firstly, in the description. If you're not part of the family already, and if you are, thank you so much. And especially if you're watching to this point, just because I tend to ramble, I appreciate you, and please let me know down below what you're excited about just in the world right now, in this crazy world with so much news just flying in our faces all the time. Just let me know what you're thinking about, what your thoughts are about some of the topics that we discussed today, and always love learning from you guys, always love talking shop with you. So I'll catch you down below, and until next time, you guys, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.